I made over $5,000 by sharing casual content on YouTube. Here's how. I wasn't even posting consistently during 2/3 of the time that I was earning this income, but the algorithm continued to push out my content, gaining more views on my content, and I continued to get passive paychecks every single month from Google ads that were shown on my YouTube videos. How did I do this? I created high quality, valuable, and informative evergreen content. My content was searchable, and I used high quality keywords so that those searching for it could actually find it. Now, what exactly makes a high quality keyword? I'm glad you asked. I use a tool called TubeBuddy. You can also use vidIQ, and I enter in search terms that I think that people might be searching for when looking for a video like mine, where my video content can help solve a problem that they are searching for an answer for. Then I find all of the keyword phrases and tags relevant to my video that also have a high search volume with low competition. What does that mean exactly? If a video has high search volume but low competition, if they search for that keyword or that phrase, then there's a good chance that my video is going to come up because there's not as many competitors that are using that same keyword in their video. If I am using a term that is high volume and high competition, then a lot of people are looking for it, but there are going to be a lot of other videos out there, so my video is less likely to rank and search for that keyword term. The other thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure it's not a low search volume and a low or even high competition. Even if it's low and low, sometimes this can perform okay, but if you want to reach a lot more people, then you want to go for that high and low, unless you're in a really specific area, in which case you might be low, but then you want even lower competition. It really depends on what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, the thing that I was going for was high search volume, so people were really looking a lot for the type of content that I was sharing, but low competition. So not that many people were making videos about the answer to that question. And if you're not sure what type of text or phrases to test, you can also try putting your keywords into an incognito browser on YouTube, and search suggestions will populate in the search bar. So what I mean is you can actually type in a phrase into the search bar and see what populates, because it'll automatically suggest alternative options depending on the keyword that you put in. For example, I can put in one keyword, and then you can see that multiple phrases are going to come up as suggested options of what other people are typing in. So if you're not sure what to test out as you're doing your keyword research, you can kind of use this for ideas or inspiration. The TubeBuddy app will also suggest multiple options. Even using the free version, you can see multiple suggestions for the type of content that might be related to your search term that you initially put in, and then you can just keep testing until you get like a high score. And like I said, find that high search volume and low competition. Typically, I only try to stick with 90 or higher, but I know that is always hard. So 80 or higher is really where you want to go. 8 or higher, bro. Anybody ever watched How I Met Your Mother? It's good if you get that reference. Comment below, because great minds think alike. Obviously, if you can get 100, that is solid. That is amazing. And then I want to incorporate all of those top keywords into 5 different places. First of all, I use it in the actual words that I'm saying in my video. So for example, if I were making a video on how to start a YouTube channel in 2024, and my keyword phrase was how to start a YouTube channel, then YouTube is listening and it would hear me say that in my video. So that is the first place that you want to make sure that you're using these keywords. That's why it's important to do this keyword research before you even go and create your YouTube video, because the keywords that you want to use in your actual video description are important to use in the video as you create it, because YouTube is listening to everything. The next place that I want to include it is my title, as well as my description. And I want to make sure that when I put it into my description that it is organic. This means that I'm actually writing it into a humanized version of the different keywords being incorporated into a text. So for example, instead of just keyword stuffing like a lot of people do, and I used to do this when I first started, was I would just list out all my top keywords at the end of the video description, and it would just be separated by commas. That used to kind of work, but it doesn't really work that much anymore. So now you want to organically put it into your post. So this means writing out a thought out description, and you can also use AI to help you out if you want to use ChatGPT or something like that, but you can make sure to put all of those keywords that you want to include into an organically written paragraph about what your video is covering or something like that. And also, the closer that you can make it to the top of the description of your video, the better. If it's like a really long description and you're putting them at the very bottom, the algorithm is not going to pick up on that as much as it would if it's at the top. Whatever you're putting at the top is the most high priority and informative and important keywords, so that can definitely be helpful. And then I also put it into my tags as well as the video file itself. Yes, even the name of the file that you upload into the YouTube Studio has something to do with it. So if you can use the keyword phrase in that as well, it can't hurt. You can also include it in your thumbnail, but obviously you want to make sure that it's still clickable, and also same thing goes for your title. Don't just put in keywords because it won't be as humanized, and you want to make sure that it's readable and that it makes sense and that somebody is going to actually want to click on the video when they see that title or thumbnail. So just do it where it makes sense and ask yourself, would I click on that title? Yes? Okay, then you can consider it, but you want to make sure that your target audience would actually click on that title. The next thing that I did to make money on YouTube is I included super clickable and intriguing thumbnails and titles. If you don't click, you don't watch, right? Except for the first 30 seconds, which can play on autoplay, and they might see the first 30 seconds without even clicking on the video. So in that case, you want to make sure that the first 30 seconds are also really, really intriguing and interesting and popping, and you want to have that energy or whatever it is. You want to change the screen, you want to be like doing all the things so that the person who sees that from the outside is going to want to click on it and find out more. So obviously within the first 30 seconds, you want to make sure that it's intriguing, that the person actually decides that they want to click on it. But also you got to take into consideration that they might not even have the sound on. So that means that you might want to have text showing in the first 30 seconds so that they can see what they're getting themselves into. You want to make sure that it matches the thumbnail that you're showing so that they're not just seeing the thumbnail and then being like, wait, this video doesn't match this at all. There's like the super professional thumbnail and then there's like a person sitting in the dark talking. Like that does not match at all, right? Like you want to make sure that they see that it matches what they think that they're seeing, because if it doesn't, then they're not going to click on it. And then additionally, you want to make sure that they understand that it is going to help them solve the question and the problem that they're trying to answer, but you don't obviously want to give them everything that they want within the first 30 seconds because then they won't click it. So again, it's like this fine balance of making sure that you are bringing everything that they want, but that you're leading into it and making it intriguing enough for them to actually click on it and go into the video and start watching. And ideally you would like for them to watch past that 30-second mark, because that can help YouTube to see that yes, you have gained retention and that people actually want to watch your content in full. Another thing that is super important that I've really tried to do in all of my videos is make sure that I deliver value. I make sure to deliver my promise from my thumbnail and my title and my keywords and deliver a ton of value in my video by going in depth and answering the question that the person who's searching for these keyword terms is actually trying to find out, and actually answering the question that they had in the first place. And I bring my authentic value to the video that nobody else would do, because I am completely different than anybody else that would deliver a similar video. Even if somebody else were sharing similar tips or similar typed content to what I was doing, they wouldn't do it the same way that I would. I assert my super cool personality. So that's what makes me different. But of course, consistency is huge. The more consistent you can be, the better. Which is honestly why it is super cool that I was able to surpass $5,000 on YouTube without even being consistent. Because like I said, about 2/3 of my income that I have earned from YouTube was during a time that I wasn't even posting hardly at all. Videos can blow up at any time, but it can certainly help the algorithm to do this sooner by showing it what your content is about and sharing more content towards your target audience. Then it knows who you're trying to target. And before you can tell the algorithm who you're trying to target, you need to know who you're trying to target, which is a big question for a lot of people. Not everybody knows who they're trying to target. And so you want to make sure that your messaging is clear, and then you go and create your content. And you know what kind of problem you're trying to solve, and you know what kind of question you're trying to answer, so that you can find those people and answer their question and help them with their problem. And that is how I made over $5,000 with YouTube and gained about 1.5 million views with my itty bitty channel. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to. You know you do. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Just a mom trying to be cool. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. I hope that you guys liked this because I had fun making that.